You're watching Southern California's CBS2. Now, CBS2 News at 6.
Our top story, while we get to see the pictures from Mars, NASA works behind the scenes to fix a glitch. Tonight, we've learned a critical communications problem has been repaired. Good evening, everyone. I'm Paul Dandridge.
And I'm Julia Yarba. Thanks for joining us this evening. Well, the communications problem which threatened the mission to Mars has apparently been solved. NASA just finished a briefing, and Frank Mottek is live in the newsroom with the latest developments on that story. Frank.
Yes, Julia, scientists at JPL are still flying high over the Mars Pathfinder mission, and right now they're telling us they're expected to let the Mars rover start roving the red planet later tonight. While scientists studied the Mars Pathfinder's new and improved pictures from the red planet, NASA managers spent the day sending up computer commands to the Mars lander to correct a few glitches that came up following the spectacular Independence Day bounce down on Mars. One of the problems worked was getting the airbags off the ramps that'll be used by the Mars rover to move off the lander and onto the Martian surface. They also worked to correct a critical communications glitch between the lander and the rover, which prevented the rover from sending back its information to Earth. After all the troubleshooting, NASA managers reported success.
The team, I can tell you, is extremely pleased. There are a few touchdown dances done, I think, when we got that information. And we're ready to move forward here and get the rover stood up and egress down the ramp.
Anticipating more success, NASA scientists are already picking interesting spots on Mars for the rover to check out.
One is this rock here, and we're going to take some close-up views, I believe, tomorrow of this rock with all of our filters and try and make a scientific assessment. And the other rock we find interesting is this sort of tabletop rock over in this direction. The most mysterious thing in this picture is this little object on the horizon that has been likened to a couch. Somebody suggested there was a homeless person camped out there. But I thought it might be the parachute. Brian thinks the parachute is brightly colored, and that couldn't be the parachute, and therefore the geologists, of course, immediately thought it was an interesting rock feature. But this is definitely something we're going to be looking at.
Now, if all goes as planned, the deployment of the rover could come in about 3 hours from now. This has its own camera. Will examine the rocks, soil, and minerals on Mars. NASA officials today also announced they're naming the Mars Pathfinder lander after the late Carl Sagan, the famous astronomer who died in December. Reporting live from the newsroom, Frank Mottek, CBS 2 News. Julia?
All right, thanks a lot, Frank. And, of course, we'll check in with him later in the show for an update on that.